Hey y'all, it's Michael, and for this video, I'm gonna do my January wrap-up and my February TBR. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. Also, don't be alarmed. I don't know when this video is gonna be uploaded, but just know that I am filming this at the beginning of February, so it is enough time to read all of these books, hopefully. So we'll see. Alright, now some of these books I've already filmed like a separate video, or like it was during a portion of another video. So I'll insert those clips. The first one was Winter in Sakcho by Elisa Shua Dusapin, translated by Anissa Higgins. Overall, this I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads. I would probably basically give it like 2.5 out of 5, if they had a half rating system, because I feel like this was just in the middle. This is about a woman who lives in Sakcho, which is a town in South Korea by the beach, which is very close to North Korea. It's a like almost like a go in between. She works at this like Airbnb, and this French man comes to visit, and actually he is a comic artist, so he decides to stay there, and the story goes from there. It really doesn't do anything for me, like story-wise, character-wise, translation-wise, like writing-wise. Translate it in a way that's very sparse, very didactic. Like it has very short, quick sentences to it at one point. All right, the next one is actually my first short story collection that I finished, and I have my own video on it. It is Curse Bunny by Bora Chung, translated by Anton Hurst. In the end, I gave this on Goodreads 3 stars. Overall, I enjoyed it. For me though, personally, I think what sticks out more is than like an individual story is more per se like the vibe. Overall, the stories across the board have this very weird, fantastical, just bizarreness to them, and I love that type of stuff. Writing and translation overall was pretty good. It has this very like distance kind of feel to them. Some of the writing, while I did enjoy the certain aspects of it, sometimes I felt there were more to be desired, especially in the way that the sentence structures are like varied. Alright, the next book that I finished is Girl, Women, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. This won the 2019 Man Booker Prize. She's the only one that won. I really enjoyed this, y'all. There were several things that surprised me about this. First off, I didn't know that this was like, it's technically short stories, but they are connected, so it's not classified as short stories, but it's more of like we'll get like a vignette type of storytelling, and we get to see all these different people who classify themselves as women, and also some non-binary folks, and we get told in different chapters, and I am glad that they essentially coincide at the end, because I think that's what really brought it in together for me. And each chapter is actually really interesting. Some, I'm not gonna lie, are more interesting than others in my opinion, but at the end I thought it was done really well. I could definitely see why this won the Man Booker Prize, because it is also written very interestingly. While it's not verse in my opinion, but it's not completely prose, if that's weird. Like it's in the middle of between that type of writing, and y'all, I think it really works, because there are parts in here where the writing can get very verse like, and it has a really good impact on what is being portrayed to the reader, because it has that it has that poetry style. The minimal use of language, it's really effective, and there are parts in here where it's very like normal, just prose, and I think it does work, and I think it combines that line really well. I really like this, surprisingly. I really liked it, so yay. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. Alright, the next one that I listened to was an audiobook, and this is a book for my young adult book club. So I listened to it, yay. I'm waiting for the other one to coming soon so I can read both books. This one is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, narrated by Michael Crouch, Robbie Damon, and Bonnie Turpin. This story is about Mateo and Rufus. They live in this world where it's called Deathcast. They're kind of like telemarketers, but on the day that you're gonna die, they call you and let you know that, hey, you're dying today. So this brings up a lot of thoughts, like deeper thoughts, thematic wise, to the story. And overall, y'all, I like this one. I think what I enjoyed about this was the relationship between the two main characters. I really like seeing how it was gonna unfold, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really intrigued how the ending was going to happen, because the title tells you something, and I was like, is this what's gonna happen? Mm. It was. I was surprised at the end. I was like, oh wow. This also does something because it's mainly in two perspectives, Mateo and Rufus, but there are chapters between them where we are meeting people, like we get their perspective of like just random people throughout who they're meeting during this day, because they're both, hence the name, they're both gonna die at the end. And I was surprised that at first it was, to me it felt a little bit gimmicky in the beginning, but then as the story progressed, I was like, oh, I see what you're trying to do here. And I was like, oh, this is really, really good. Like, I thought that point of the perspective of the different people really did add something to the overall story. And at the end, I was like, oh, this isn't gimmicky at all. I see what you're doing. And I liked it. The next one that I finished is very in the middle, if you see a lot of people about this on the internets. And I was super intrigued because of the divide. And that's The Maiden by Alex Michaelides, narrated by Comna Holbrook Smith and Louise Brierly. So this story, I was split in the middle because there are aspects of this that I was like, oh, that's not that bad. And there are parts where I was just like, I don't know. It seemed a little bit try hard during some parts. This is a story about Mariana, whose niece, at the school that her niece goes to, one of the students is murdered. And so her, being a group therapist, checks up on her niece, Zoe, and the story goes from there. And basically she's trying to solve who's done it. So this is a thriller mystery type of thing, and I'm not gonna lie, trying to see who's done it, I think that was like the best part, like waiting until the end to see like, oh, who did it. And at the end, was it satisfying? I think it's always the bigger questions to like these type of stories, because like, let's say stories like, now this is no comparison, okay, stories like Agatha Christie, like the Orient Express, when I tell you I was shook at who was the killer, shook, okay, shook. And it is one of those stories where like the journey is as good as the end, in my opinion. I really like that. Or even like There Was None, like who's the killer in that? I was like, oh. So here, I don't I don't know how to feel about it, because on one end, the ending was at one point kind of shocking, but also disappointing. But then the journey to get there was kind of exciting, but also disappointing. Like, I was really on the fence about this, and this is one of those stories where like obviously the character, like this isn't a character driven, like let's be serious here. So like Mariana, like and then all the other side characters were just a little bit like, okay, I guess. And this has a lot of red herrings. Like, there are so many red herrings in this. I am one of those people like, who's done it? How could this happen? Like, is this person like, is she a unreliable narrator? That type of thing. I am one of those people like, I'll avoid all the reviews about it, but then I will go watch like rant reviews. I love those type of stuff, or like spoiler reviews to see how other people felt. And I think I'm more on the like than most people. A lot of people were angry about it, but I went into this with no expectations. And I literally fell in the middle about this. I think it was more of the thrillerish, like exciting parts. Now, people have said that his previous novel, The Silent Patient, is really good. So I think I'll check that out, because I see the potential. I see the potential, which is wild. If you've read this, let me know what you think about it, because I would love to hear your thoughts. Just put spoiler review, like spoiler on, like warning people if it is a spoiler, because when I tell you, this was wild. Like, this had some wild moments. One thing I did really enjoy, though, I'm not gonna lie, are all the literary references. I love that type of stuff, because I just love like mythology and whatnot. So I thought that aspect was really cool. But other than that, yeah, I was literally in the middle about this. I rated this on 3 stars on Goodreads because I was in the middle about it. But the good thing about it being cold, so cold outside, is that this camera don't overheat that quick. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you some of the stories that I am in the middle of, and I won't give y'all tell y'all about them, but I'm continuously reading them. The first one is a short story collection, which I think is so good. I'm over halfway through it, and I am enjoying it immensely. It is Ghost Summer Stories by Tanana Reeve Dew. Shut it down. Shut it down. I am filming a separate video on this, and I'm gonna tell you now. Ghost Summer. The title, the story of the title of the book. 5 stars. Like, what an incredible short story slash novella. It is so good of a story. I was like, it was so good, so fun, so adventurous. I'm really enjoying this short story collection, and I really, really like it. I'm listening to another audiobook right now. It is a memoir. It's All Boys Aren't Blue, a memoir manifesto by George M. Johnson. This is also narrated by Johnson. I'm liking this so far. It says I'm only 29% of the way through, and I'm enjoying it so far. I have no concrete thoughts about it so far. It's a huge book. I'll put the translator down here because it's not showing it to me on Scrib. It is 6-4, a novel by Hideo Yokoyama. This is so good. I'm enjoying this so much. This is a mystery slash cop story, I guess you could say. A murder that happened where the police department, a kidnapping slash murder, a kidnapping that turned into a murder happened because of something. I don't know. Something happened. It's unveiling from this police department, and we're seeing the fall effects from that. And it says on the blurb that the case is going to reopen, but there's also something going on too. And we as the reader right now, I'm only 37% of the way through. I don't know what's going on. I love this type of story because first off, it is incredibly detailed. And when I mean detailed, like, we go through the whole shebang. Also, if you not into that, I want to recommend this because, like, we get to know, like, all the departments, like exactly who all the main people are. And I don't know what's gonna happen because the main character, something happened with his daughter, because his daughter is missing, and I'm trying to figure out if this is connected, or I don't know what's going to happen. But I am enjoying it so much because I really want to see how it's going to unfold and what's at the end. This book is huge. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all now, it is huge. The other story that I'm in the middle of right now is where my bookmark go? Oh, it dropped. Is Severance by Ling Mott. I picked this up in Atlanta when I went to go like, I just went by myself and I went to dinner and stuff. It was so nice. I got this actually along with this, so I'm almost yay, the books that I actually bought and read. I literally just started this. I like it so far. I don't have that much strong thoughts about it. I think it's like a post-apocalyptic or some sort of virus going on, which is wild because this was published in 2018, and you know what happened. But it's really interesting so far, and from the beginning it has this very sarcastic, humorous way it describes things, and I'm liking that. Alright, so next I'm gonna tell y'all some of the books that I have on my TBR besides those other ones that I'm currently reading right now. The main book that I'm gonna be reading in February to celebrate Black History Month, along with Dee Dee and Tati from Musical Tati, for our Read Soullit book, it is Sun is Sky by Jada Mayberry. We do have a live show on the 26th of February. Yes, that's correct. So check it out. Now, am I going to be late receiving this book? Yes. But will I finish it by that time? Yes. I do want to tackle like one out of these two big books. We'll see how that goes. The first one is Dahlgren by Samuel R. Delany. I have been trying to read this for years, okay? And I'm hoping to get through a good chunk at least. We'll see how this goes. This is my second, third attempt of trying to actually stick around and read this whole thing. It is like very surreal writing. It's very trippy. It's like a lot that's going on. This is like a very important book in the sci-fi fantasy canons. The other book that I do want to tackle, because I bought this I believe last year, and I've never got into it, and it's a huge chunker. This is Frederick Douglass, Prophet of Freedom by David W. Blight. I'm gonna let y'all know I don't know that much about Frederick Douglass that much. A few years ago I finished and tackled Alan Locke bibliography, and I thought that was really good, so I wanted to tackle one right here, the dog, and see how this goes. All right, those are all the books that I'm hoping to read and I read in January. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, this year my reading is going so well. I am like literally in the groove. I'm trying, y'all. I'm really good. It's great. So yeah, if you read any of those books, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, especially on the Maidens. I really want to hear your thoughts. So yes, it's getting long now. The sun's setting. Until then, I'll see you guys till next time. Bye.